So Larry, we were talking on one of our Intro to Tools show, and I think that you had mentioned one time that, and it applies to me as well, that we basically have almost all the tools that we need for about 90% of the jobs that we do with us at all times, right. Which is incredible. I mean, after a while, you kind of figure the tools that you need. So I see that you got your tool belt here. Let's take a look at what you have in the tool belt.
Sure, John. Let's do that. So I carry a tool belt. You actually carry yours in a tool bucket, which is kind of one and the same. I personally like a tool belt, but I just thought I'd show it to you. This is actually the tool belt that I carry every single day out in the field. When I go into a job, this is what I carry. I have all of this stuff with me, and so I thought we'd just go through and sort of show you what each one is and what its applications are.
Yeah.
So we're going to start essentially from left to right. This is my hammer, which I've discussed in the past. This is a 16-ounce S-twing, blah, blah, blah. It's a framing hammer, but it's a good heavy framing hammer. I've got it in its own holster. We'll start here. I've got basically a variety of, this is a nail set. I've got just a Sharpie marker just to write, whatever. If I have to do any really fine work, I have a pair of forceps that I use. I've got a couple of Carpenter's pencils. That obviously for marking wood or whatever, and tape. I actually use them to write on tape a lot. I actually have, this is an Allen wrench for the inside of a garbage disposal. I do a lot of garbage disposal work, and it's very handy for me to have that. I have a small crescent wrench that I always carry with me.
Mm-hmm. I do too. Yeah, I'm looking at. I'll comment when you come across something I don't have in my box. Now I don't have the garbage disposal tool, so that's a good one. But I understand why you have it.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those things that when you need it, you need it. This front pocket comprises mostly of electrical tools. Now I do have my vice grips in there. I put them in there because they fit, but it's just a pair of vice grips. But I have an actual electrical tester that allows me to do the testing of an outlet. I have a multi-tool electrical tester that allows me to do a tremendous amount of different things. And this is something that we'll actually probably do a real review on. And then I have a contact electrical tester too. Now this just tells me that there's voltage.
And folks, these are great tools to have with you if you do any kind of electrical work around your house or those kind of things. These are great to have, especially the non-contact electrical. That'll identify if there's any current that's flying around there that you don't want to be part of. So
turn your power off when you're working on it. This is how you verify that it's actually off. If it's not chirping at you, because it chirps, right?
Right.
It'll.
There you have it.
And that's just me making static electricity on my face.
Right.
And that'll literally go off. Great tool to have. I think I paid $10 for that.
Yeah, they're about $10.
Yeah, my life is worth $10.
Yeah.
We're just going to leave it at that. My life's worth $10.
It is today.
It is today. That's right. So anyway, so that's the front pouch. So we go into the back pouch. So I have a pair of your average set of scissors. This again is an electrical stripping device. I have a pair of diagonal cutters, which you use for wire of all types, and zip ties. Works really well for that. Pair of needle nose pliers, right? Got to have that.
So folks, these are the kind of things that we were talking about in some of our tool shows. Is what are the basic essential tools that you need.
We hear our assistant, Miss Lexi, in the background there. She's our trusty dog. She's working with us today. I have a set of very small, both standard and Phillips-head screwdrivers, which I use. I have regular-sized Phillips-head screwdrivers, which I use. I also have, actually, this is a pretty handy tool. This is a magnetic probe that allows me, when I drop things into walls and stuff, I can pick stuff up, and I happen to have one that's pretty strong, so you can see it picks up my cutters.
Yes, that's something I don't have, and that's a good tip. I think I'm gonna pick something like that up. That's just.
I have my small level.
So, I've got one too.
Yep, this is a small torpedo level.
Yep, they come in handy.
Use that a lot. I carry a file with me just if I ever have to do a little bit of filing, and I also carry a chisel with me
Always a chisel.
Yep, always got a chisel with me. So those go there. I also carry a pair of Aviation Snips.
Yeah.
If I have to cut any metal whatsoever,
yes,
I have them with me. I also carry a pair of stubby screwdrivers. just because sometimes can't get in there, you know what it is. In the pouch in here further, there's a few wire nuts, and there's a few, you know, there's just kind of some things that I use on a regular
stuff
basis.
Finds its way down there.
Yeah, stuff drops down in there, and so you're actually getting to see me clean out my tool pouch. But you know, actually, the thing is that you use this stuff when you need. Most of the time when we're doing a job, you need one. Well, here it is. It's in my tool bag. I also have a chalk line. So I do a little bit of, if I'm doing some framing carpentry and I need to cut long pieces, I carry a chalk line with me. These are kind of specialized tools. This is definitely a specialized tool. So this is a 90 degree for my drill. It takes a 1/4 inch piece and it allows me to do a 90 inch.
No, hold that up again. Wait a minute. You've got that?
So this actually will give the turn the ability to put power in on a 90.
Looks like a magician's bag. You got all kinds of stuff coming out of there.
Looks like I got a couple of screws and a little more electrical gear in here as well. So, you know, that's just, as you said, John, that's stuff that's fallen in there, and it hasn't found its way out yet.
Yeah.
Oh, look, another wire nut. You know, it's kind of the stuff that you have. So I'm just gonna kind of leave that where it is.
If there's any money in there, it's mine.
Yeah, there's.
I dropped it in there.
Center pouch here is where I carry my tape. So I carry 3 kinds of tape with me into the field. Got to have the blue tape.
Yep.
So the blue tape is for, along with masking for paint and things like that. It's just for marking stuff. Everything, yeah. And everything. You can write on it. So if it's I
use it all the time to put up trim work. I take all my measurements and I stick it all over my body, and I come over, my shirt and stuff,
so forth and so on.
And go out to the saw, and I take all of it back off and stick it on the saw.
Absolutely.
And now I've got my whole. You gotta have that.
This is friction tape, electrical tape as it's called, but it's friction tape where you actually have to pull it to straighten out. And then I carry some Teflon tape if we're doing any plumbing.
Yep.
So we'll go into more depth on this stuff in the future, but that always runs with me because, again, running back to the truck to get it, pain in the neck. Pain in the neck. Come out to the front of the pouch here. I've got my drill bits. Now, over here is my drill driver. I'll get to that in a bit. But I carry a good selection of just, I know it's kind of a mess, but there's a selection.
I got the exact same thing, and it's a mess just like that.
Yeah, but it's the things that we use a lot. So there's a whole series of various drill bits of the most common sizes that we use, a multi-driver, all the various different bits, a countersink, various bolt head sizes, all different kinds of screwdrivers, square heads, Torx heads, and Phillips heads, of course, of all sizes. So I keep it all in one place because I know it's there and I have it when I need it. And I use it at almost every single job. Yeah. Behind that are basically my scrapers and my putty knives. So this is actually a scraper, this is a hard-bladed putty knife, and this is a soft-bladed putty knife. So I keep those in there. I find I use the scraper probably the most. A lot. Yeah, just everything. Everything. Wood, tape, drywall, all kinds of things. I'll lay drywall mud with that, or in the case of Bondo, stuff like that. Same thing with this one. So hey, a quick tip too, just if you're laying in Bondo or anything that actually can stick to your blade, if you take your blue tape. I'm going to do a quick tip. You've learned. Yeah, I've learned this. I learned this from you. But if you just take your blue tape and you just wrap it around the blade, just out in the front of where you're going to be, like that, and then you wrap the whole blade up all the way down like this. I'm doing it real quick. It's not the greatest thing. Protects. You don't have to clean that now. So anyway, that's your quick tip for the day. But while I'm sitting here,
it's a mess to get off.
It's really hard to get off. Yeah, you'll spend a lot of time, and then when you get done, you just go.
And toss it.
And it's done, right? And then you can actually see on my blade, if you'll see, that's where my tape line is all the time, and that's what's left. So that's that quick tape. Behind that, I carry the ever famous WD-40 lubricant. I do carry a stud finder.
So do I.
Yeah, it's just kind of something that's handy. I've got now we're getting into the parts that have fallen. I've got a wood shim. I've got screws. I've got more electrical. I've got a little bit of touch-up paint. I've got all kinds of screws and bolts and nuts and bolts and stuff are in my big bag. As you can see, I'm not going to pull all that stuff out because it's just not anything that y'all need to see. But these are all things that, when you just need one screw, there it is, right? So it's in the thing, in the front of my bag. Behind that, I've actually carried 2 utility knives. One's a lock blade, one's not, but they're both utility blades. I find that I keep one in my pocket and I'll drop one. I carry two because then I always know I have one. But I carry two good utility blades in my tool bag. I've got fresh blades that are in the front because if they get dull, you need to have them be sharp. So I carry those. I do keep those clipped on. The ever famous 25-foot.
There it is right there.
Tape measure. Gotta have it. Use it all the time. I mentioned I like the green because
you can see it.
I can see it. Yeah. So that's that. And then we get over to here, so I'll just go to this. This is my speed square, so it's much like a square, but if you're doing any kind of framing or you need anything to be square, that's a really handy tool. You can also use that to, we'll show some video of this in the future, but you can use this to do sharp cuts when you're using a circular saw.
Yes.
It's just like, ends up being like using a chop saw. It makes it nice and straight. And then my trusty dusty 12 or 18 volt drill driver, which I use all the time for everything. Drilling, screwing, and then I have two Phillips-head bits that are here. One's a double-sided, but those go in the front. Use this probably almost every job.
Right.
This particular tool belt came from Home Depot. It's a Husky version. It's called the Handyman's Tool Belt. It really works well. I think I paid $25 for it for this belt. I did buy, this is an extra accessory for the drill, and then my hammer loop was another extra accessory as well.
So I would just say that, folks, when you're looking at what we do, we're very diverse, like a homeowner would be.
Very much so.
You're going from plumbing to electrical work to hanging pictures, maybe fixing some wallboard, things like that. So it's nice to have a bag like this that has a source like this that has all the tools in it that you'd need to do those various jobs.
Different jobs. And the beauty of this is, you see, like as I'm putting these things back in, I actually have a place for everything, so I tend to not lose things. Like they go in a specific place, and I know where that place is, so I don't lose them when I'm out on the job site, right? And we've said in our shows that, like a good hand tool like these screwdrivers, your biggest threat to these is losing them.
Right.
These will last virtually indefinitely if you take good care of them. Same thing. These, again, orange handles so that I can see them. Because trust me, you set them down and they go bye-bye, and we don't want them to go bye-bye. So I put everything in, and like I say, everything's got its place. My electrical stuff's here, my drill bits are here, my blades are here, and a lot of it is how it fits in the tool belt. Obviously, it kind of fits, but I now know where everything is. So this is part of that organizational thing that we think is really quite valuable. John, anything else to add?
No. That's a good roundup of the tool belt.
All right.